what's happening to YouTube. So the NBA trade deadline is going to be within 1 week, and the Clippers are in a really interesting spot. So let's talk about what are the rumors saying the Clippers are trying to do. And the rumor is try to get a good point guard, like as of right now. Me personally, um, point for point guard wise, I I guess it's not really too wrong with trying to find a good high IQ point guard, but in my opinion, like um, I don't think the Clippers should go too crazy to get like an actual like good point guard for right now. And in my opinion, the reasoning is um, I kind of like definitely looking some of the NBA draft within the next few years. The Clippers do have a 2023 first round pick, but first we have Jason Preston who has yet to play, and looking forward to see him play. But let's just say if Jason Preston doesn't work out, we had the 2023 NBA draft, and it's loaded with a lot of point guards that I could definitely see be good, if not better than all the guards in the market right now. And there are players like Sky Clark, who's a walking bucket, and I could recall got like I believe 5 assists. He currently plays for Montverde Academy. He's gonna play with Kentucky. You got players like Jaden Bradley. He's 6'2", has a really long wingspan. The vibes from him is like he plays a lot like Drew Holiday, pretty good playmaker, could play pretty good defense. And then you got someone like Josian Gortman, who's pretty much he plays for Overtime Elite. He has a really good peskiness, kind of like a Patrick Beverly type that could definitely be really good for the Clippers. So, I mean, as of right now, I mean, if the Clippers if the Clippers could really like what the Clippers should actually try to do, in my opinion, is try to get a more mobile big man because like I mean, for the point guard situation, in my opinion, I believe uh I don't really know too much because like how should I feel about it? Because our point guards right now isn't too bad. We have Reggie Jackson, who's kind of like more of a two, but however, we do have a lot of players that could definitely play make the ball. Players like Nick Batum and players like Amir Coffey, Bledsoe. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes he has moments that he impressed me. Sometimes there are moments when he turns the ball over. A lot of the times, so I definitely understand why some fans would definitely want the Clippers to go trade for a point guard and all this stuff. And personally, I would be open if the Clippers make any trades. Honestly, as long as if the Clippers obviously don't give a Kawhi Paul George, which is that's too obvious. But as long as the Clippers do not trade any of the really talented youth like Brandon Boston Jr., Jay Scrub, Amir Coffey, Keon Johnson, and probably now Luke Kennard, since Luke Kennard's shown that he could step it up. And also probably Terrence Mann as well too, even though Terrence Mann he's shown like he pretty much did not like improve as how I would expect him. He's more of like he shows that he's more of a blue collar type role player. But now I'm gonna kind of talk about on how the Clippers could what the Clippers should also be considered looking for, other than um, like try to get another point guards, because the Clippers have a lot of guards. Like we really do have a lot of guards, and what the Clippers can actually try to consider is try to get a more mobile big man, because it's not like our bigs are pretty bad. We got Hardenstein, who brings in the energy, um, who is somewhat of a mobile big. He can play make. Ibaka, he's despite him being 35, 36 years old, or I don't know exactly his age, but um, he's pretty solid. He can space the floor and stuff. But I mean, the Clippers could definitely consider on going for a really mobile big, because like some of the big weakness of of our bigs is like when it's during playoff times and when we face teams like the Mavericks or the Suns or the Warriors, they would tend to take advantage of our pick and roll really quite often. So Tyronn Lue would kind of result to going small ball, which pretty much would kind of put our rim protection at a disadvantage. So one of the things that in my personal opinion that I'm really somewhat interested for the Clippers to go for is a player like Mo Bamba because like okay maybe you don't have to take it too seriously because I don't really know exactly on how much would the Clippers have to give up for a guy like Mo Bamba because like it's like sorry for me because I'm clearing my throat because my throat is a little bit slimy right now, so I just want to owe everybody huge apologies for everybody watching this video. But anyways, let me go back to what I was saying. So Mo Bamba, like, is basically kind of like an on and off type of. You don't know exactly like are they gonna try to ship him or not? You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like it seems that like if the Orlando Magic are thinking logically, they would probably keep him and have him remain for the future. But there's always a chance that they could ship him out, and you could get him in a decent return and a solid return. Because if you go back within a few years ago, the Detroit Pistons, like Luke Kennard, who's like their young guard, who's a really good shooter and all the stuff. The Pistons just unexpectedly traded Luke Kennard to the Clippers, which is that's out of the ordinary. So in my personal opinion, I think the Clippers should try to consider swinging for a player like Mo Bamba because like he is somewhat of a quick big man. He has a lot of upsides. He's a really athletic big, and he's shown signs that he can actually space the floor, unlike with with our bigs, because none of our bigs can really truly like consistently space the floor. But Bamba, he's shown some flashes of spacing the floor, and if we get a player like Mo Bamba, I'd be down. Of course, obviously, as long as we don't trade Boston, Scrub, and probably Keon and probably Coffee for Bamba, I'd be down to get a player like Mo Bamba. But again, this is just my personal perspective on what the Clippers should go for. I used to like when the Clippers collapsed in the bubble. I always wanted the Clippers to get a player like Miles Turner or Christian Wood, but unfortunately, from what I've heard from reports, is the Pacers are probably going to ask some of a lot of players, and they want young players. And if we trade if we trade for Miles Turner, they're gonna probably ask for Keon Johnson or Brandon Boston, and I would pretty much hang up on that essentially because Brandon Boston and Keon Johnson, like it's definitely not a really good idea to trade them because if you trade them to another team, it's gonna be really bad because obviously you know why for Brandon Boston, but I'm gonna just explain for Keon because Keon is a really good defender. He's a really quick player, and if you combine that together, that's really tough to teach and he's shown a lot of capabilities of playing really, really good defense. And I personally believe Tyronn Lue should try to find a way to get him in rotations, but he's in a G League right now, and that's that. And and obviously, don't trade Jay Scrub because from what I've seen from Jay Scrub, he's shown the ability that he definitely could be a star because he's a really versatile on the offensive side. He can shoot. He's he's a really good slasher. He's really athletic, and on a defensive side, he plays really good defense, and also is really athletic. So if the Clippers should definitely not trade Jay Scrub, and if the Clippers trade Jay Scrub or Brandon Boston Jr., I might have to sue the Clippers for emotional damage because it's gonna be nothing but I don't know, but missed opportunities. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Nothing but atrocity. But anyways, that was just me being, that was just me, that was just me trying to be funny. Yeah, none of y'all probably didn't laugh at it. It was a bad joke. My bad. But yeah, that's pretty much just my personal opinions in general. Like to basically sum up this video, like I'm open for the Clippers to making some trades as long as we don't trade our young guys because it could definitely hurt us down in the road. Like, but it's pretty interesting on what to see what the Clippers are going to do. But supposedly, like I don't know if I said this, I probably did, and my bad if I repeated myself. They're probably gonna looks like they're willing to trade Ibaka to clear some cap room and all stuff because a lot of we the Clippers do have a lot of really talented teams and and also like you're probably gonna want more money. So I guess the Clippers are gonna try to create cap room for this upcoming season. And personally, like I know some of the players, some of the people would want to go for a third star. Me personally, I wouldn't really. I'm not too much of a big fan of it, but of course, if we do get a third star without giving up too much, of course I'll be happy, obviously. And then, but and then I'm gonna just share more of my opinions on the point guard situation, how the Clippers could, for now on, definitely help the point guard situation. And in my opinion, like I think the Clippers should definitely start running Amir Coffey at the point guard because Amir Coffey, like as we all know, he is 6'7", and his passing ability is actually pretty good. Like I believe in my past videos, I kind of compared Amir Coffey to a Ben Simmons that could shoot the ball. And let me just break it down. So both Ben Simmons and Amir Coffey, um, both are pretty big. Both could pass the ball. Both play pretty good defense. Except for Amir Coffey, Amir Coffey is way less athletic than Ben Simmons. And as for Ben Simmons, for Amir Coffey, he's way less. Like he definitely does not have a shot. While Amir, he has a shot, and he's really efficient at it. So pretty much like I wouldn't be too big on the idea of getting Ben Simmons because you already have Amir Coffey that is pretty much doing the same thing except he has a jumper. Another player that some Clippers fans will want is John Wall. And John Wall, you're basically going to trade a whole lot of players, and he has not played for a year. He's hurt. He was hurt for. He gets hurt easily, and basically he's 40 costs $47 million, which is it's definitely going to require to trade players like Marcus Morris and Luke Kennard, and you can definitely get way better value than just a John Wall in theory. So again, just please leave down on the comment of what you think about the trade deadline and all this stuff. What you think the Clippers should do. Be sure to leave a comment on whether you agree on what I've pretty much been saying on this video, and also be sure to leave a like and subscribe and dislike if you disagree. And as y'all know, go Clippers.